Good morning and welcome to Wichita State's Weekly Briefing. My name is Bobby Berry. I'm a clinical educator, coordinator of the Workforce Leadership and Applied Learning, and director of the Fuse. These briefings are held in an effort to keep the campus and the public better informed about the progress occurring here at Wichita State. Following a university update and today's featured topic, there will be time for questions. Wichita State's University Administration and Student Health Services continue to closely monitor the evolving COVID-19, also known as Coronavirus Disease 2019 outbreak. The health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff is our highest priority. What you should know about COVID-19 and how you can protect yourself, go to wichita.edu/services/student health/coronavirus.php. As more information on this evolving situation becomes available, the website will be updated. Soon you may also view minutes of each pandemic team meeting there. Camille Childers, Director of Student Health Services, is the pandemic team lead for Wichita State. Please contact her if you or a person under investigation by Sedgwick County or have decided to self-quarantine. You have messages to share with the campus community, or if you have any questions not answered here or at the coronavirus website. Contact Camille at Childers at wichita.edu or 316-978-6828. ITS is taking steps to be prepared in the event that a large number of campus community would need to work or take classes remotely. On Friday, ITS will conduct a telecommuting day to test the effectiveness of remote work. As for online classes, the Instructional Design and Access team has been working to provide quick instructions to instructors who need to temporarily move their classes online. For more about developing an online class, contact Instructional Design and Access at ida@wichita.edu. 3 Wichita State University researchers and a student group have been awarded the John A.C. Innovation Award. The faculty winners are Anil Mahapatro, Alim Asmatulu, and David Long. Mahapatro, Associate Professor of Biomedical Engineering, won for his research project, Plant-Based Materials for Stereolithography 3D Printers. Asmatulu is an Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. She is collaborating with David Long in Biomedical Engineering, and their winning research project is titled Superhydrophilic Nanofiber Desiccants for Enhanced Food and Drug Packaging. Students were also recognized for their venture-based projects. Jared Gearing, Spencer Steinart, and Max Hinman for innovation design won for their project titled InWire Immersive Learning Platform. The John A. C. Awards began in 2014 after C donated $1 million to provide prizes to WSU faculty and students conducting outstanding research or producing other significant work. C was the director of flight tests and prototype development at Boeing until his retirement in 1985. Although not a Wichita State alumnus, he has been a generous WSU supporter who values the importance of higher education and believes in WSU's commitment to growth and pioneering work. 15 students from Kansas will attend Wichita State on a 4-year scholarship as a part of the 3rd class of Rhodes Scholars. The Rhodes Scholarships covers all remaining tuition, fees, book, supplies, and on-campus room and board after all other aid, grants, and scholarships. Rhodes Scholars also attend Fort Hays State University and Emporia State University. The Rhodes Scholarship is earned through a competitive selection process that requires grades, test scores, essays, letters of recommendation, and a personal interview. Only 30 students were chosen from more than the 1,300 students who applied. WSU President Dr. John W. Bardo died March 12, 2019 after a long illness. In his nearly 7 years leading WSU, he strategically and physically transformed the university and set us on an exciting course of innovation and creativity. Dr. Bardo will be remembered today with a morning ban over the plaque at John Bardo Center. He is survived by his wife Deborah and his son Christopher. The weekly briefing series will end on Thursday, March 19th and will not return after spring break. The weekly briefings began in fall 2018 in an effort to keep the campus and public better informed about the progress occurring at Wichita State. The university will continue to keep the campus and public informed through different forms of communication. On the first Tuesday of each month, the First Tuesday newsletter will be distributed to WSU faculty, staff, and students. Also published on First Tuesdays will be the President's Connection with a target audience of alumni and community. If you are not an alumnus or want to subscribe, email president@wichita.edu. The Wichita State Research Newsletter will publish every other month beginning March 12, 2020. To subscribe to the Research Newsletter, email research@wichita.edu. President Golden is active on social media. Follow Dr. Golden on Twitter and Facebook at President WSU. Follow Wichita State University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our featured speaker is Michael Irvin, Equal Opportunity Coordinator for the Office of Institutional Equity and Compliance. The duties and responsibilities of institutional equity and compliance include monitoring an oversight of overall implementation of equal opportunity law and Title IX compliance at the university, including coordination of training, education, communication, and administration of grievance procedures for faculty, staff, and students and other members of the university community. I will now like to welcome Michael to the stage.
Thank you, Bobby. The Office of Institutional Equity and Compliance is committed to preventing, addressing, and eliminating discrimination and harassment based on an individual's protected characteristics. Our authority is derived from federal law, state law, and Wichita state policy. Most notably, the federal laws Title VII and Title IX. Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act prohibits employers from discriminating against employees or prospective employees on the basis of sex, race, color, national origin, or religion. Title IX of the 1972 Educational Amendments Act prohibits discrimination based on sex in educational programming. Because Wichita State is both an educational institution and an employer, we're subject to both Title VII and Title IX. Wichita State Policy 3.02 identifies all of the protected characteristics recognized by our university. Our policy goes further than what's required under Title VII, Title IX, or federal laws such as the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act by creating protections based on characteristics such as sexual orientation, gender expression, and gender identity. My office reviews and responds to allegations of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, sexual misconduct, relationship violence, and stalking. Discrimination is conduct that's biased, unjust, or prejudicial treatment based on an individual's protected characteristics when that conduct limits the individual's ability to participate in or benefit from Wichita State's educational programming or employment. Harassment is verbal or physical conduct that denigrates or shows hostility towards an individual based on their protected characteristics when that conduct limits or deprives the individual of educational or employment participation and benefit. Sexual misconduct is a broad term that we use that encompasses non-consensual sexual contact, non-consensual sexual intercourse, sexual coercion, sexual exploitation, relationship violence, and stalking. And we also look at retaliation, which is an employment action that occurs because of an individual's participation in the discrimination or harassment review process. Wichita State requires all employees to report actual or suspected harassment, discrimination, or sexual misconduct to the appropriate officials. There are exceptions for employees who work for student health, employees in counseling and prevention services, and people who are members of the clergy. Reports can be filed by calling our office or coming to our office. We're located in the Human Resources Building, or by completing a form on our website. When our office receives a report, we meet with the impacted individual and start what's called a preliminary review of their concern. During this review, we seek to determine if there's enough information to create a reasonable belief that a policy has been violated. If that belief exists, we continue to a comprehensive investigation. Before the comprehensive investigation concludes, each party gets the opportunity to review the evidence and ask questions of other witnesses. The evidence is then analyzed and a finding is made whether there's a preponderance of evidence that demonstrates that the conduct occurred and violated our policies. Each party has the right to appeal that decision. Our office supports the mission and goals of Wichita State in a number of ways. We provide training for faculty, staff, and student organizations on both Title VII, Title IX, WSU policy, and our processes. We facilitate training during new leader orientation to provide employees in leadership positions with the tools to navigate their new roles as leaders. We speak during new employee orientation to ensure that new hires are aware of their role as responsible employees and who they can contact if they encounter discriminatory or harassing conduct. Speaking to new employees also sets the tone during onboarding as to what kind of institution we desire to be. Speaking with these groups also provides us the opportunity to interact with employees outside of our review process. Our office is sensitive to the fact that speaking to our office can be uncomfortable. So any opportunity that we have to engage employees outside of the review process helps to increase trust with our office and with our process. Our office also works closely with other university offices. There are times when after the preliminary review or the comprehensive investigation, there's a determination that the conduct was neither discriminatory nor harassing under our policy. However, there could still be conduct that needs to be addressed. In these situations, we'll work with Human Resources, Student Conduct, the WSU PD, Counseling and Prevention Services, and other campus partners to ensure that matters are being addressed. Lastly, our office is neutral and independent. Our goal is to provide a process for students, faculty, and staff that's fair to all parties involved. Complainants have a process by which they can express concerns, provide supporting information, and witnesses. Respondents have a process by which they are made aware of the allegations against them, have a fair opportunity to respond to those allegations, and are able to provide witnesses and information. Both parties have the opportunity to review evidence collected before any determinations are made as to whether a policy violation has occurred. Maintaining and enforcing a process that's fair, neutral, evidence-based, and is not influenced by politics or external forces is how my office supports the mission and goals of Wichita State.
All right, thank you so much, Michael, for your time today. So at this time, I'll take questions on any of today's updates or other questions that you may have. For those I am unable to answer, please follow up with Leanne Mazzullo. All right, so if there are no questions, I'd like to close by reminding you of WSU's vision and mission. The vision of Wichita State University is to be an internationally recognized as a model for applied learning and research. Meanwhile, the mission is to be an essential educational, cultural, and economic driver for Kansas and the greater public good. Thank you so much for coming today to today's briefing. The next and final briefing will be held at 10 a.m. Thursday, March 19th here at the Radigan Student Center. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.